early access pre-order bonuses are an absolute joke. They're an absolute joke. In 2024, we have seen so many different games releasing with pre-order bonuses that are allowing someone to pay almost double the price of the initial game just to play the game like 2, 3, 4 days early. It's a complete joke. It is a complete predatory practice, and there is absolutely no consumer benefit other than preying on FOMO for an early access pre-order bonus. Now, I want to clarify, this isn't early access as a game which is actually releasing in early access weeks, months, years in advance that it's trying to fund money to complete the game. That is completely different in my opinion. However, that could be a video for a different day. There are a lot of times issues with that as well, especially if they start selling a ton of microtransactions, etc. in the game, and they're just trying to basically take your money and then they don't release the full game. So that is a completely different kind of topic at hand. I'm talking about games that are going to be coming out, and literally 3 days before the game releases, you can start playing it if you paid double the extra money that you would normally pay just for the base game. And the first example here I want to talk about is an MMO called, if you've never heard of it, World of Warcraft, who just released their new expansion, The War Within, which gave players an early access bonus if they pre-ordered the game. Now, this issue is specifically relevant for a multiplayer game because if you're playing 3 days early and it's a multiplayer game with other players, you are quote-unquote competing with these other players to get the best items. And if you get the best items fast, especially in an MMO, you can beat the content even faster than the other players. So it is direct pay to win into your game if you're playing it 3 days early. On top of that, all of these people are already going to be playing the game. So it's going to ruin, if you look up anything at all about the game, it's going to ruin your first experience. You're also not going to be able to start the game with everybody at the same time, which some people might say is bad for server issues, but in my opinion, when you're starting the game, especially an MMO, and everybody else is playing at the exact same time, it enhances that experience. It's like a once-in-a-lifetime experience or once-in-an-expansion experience that you're going to be able to have when everybody logs on and is playing the game at the exact same time. Now, what ended up happening with this release of The War Within is that players that started 3 days early also were able to level up faster. So after the early access ended, players that bought the normal release of the game, they leveled up slower. So on top of people being able to get to the content faster and be able to beat the content before other players and get gear before other players and basically outmatch them in terms of how strong their character is, they were also able to level up faster and get to that even faster on top of the 3-day bonus. Now, that's just a multiplayer example, but if we break it down for single player, it's almost even worse. A single player game having early access provides absolutely no benefit to the player. The only thing it does is allow them to spend more money to get the exact same game, sometimes even more money to get a game with less content. I want to talk about now the Assassin's Creed Shadows example, a single player game that had 3 days early access release and then also locked content behind the bonus of the 3 days early access release. Now, if you take a look at this Assassin's Creed Shadows chart, which I also shared quickly earlier in this video as an example, if you pay almost twice the amount, 120 versus 70, you will be able to get the Ultimate Edition. The Ultimate Edition is what includes that 3 days early access, and it also includes an Ultimate Pack. Now, what is included with that Ultimate Pack? So the Ultimate Pack includes a couple of different appearance options for weapons, armor, your hideout, another photo mode, filter, etc. But it also includes 5 skill points. Now, who knows how big skill points are going to be in this game? They weren't a huge deal in some previous Assassin's Creed games, but you're literally locking behind power progression in a $130 release. Now, early access has pretty much become a standard in the video game industry today. If you're not playing the game early access, you're playing the game on late access. The early access release is the main release for everybody, so cough up that $130 and you can play the game when it actually releases. I genuinely do not think this is ever going to go away. And I think the big reason is because gamers and FOMO is a huge thing. People don't want to miss out on the initial release of these games. The excitement that builds up for a lot of AAA or even indie games, but those don't really have as many early access issues in terms of pre-order bonuses, but the excitement that is built up from these games over time, looking at all the trailers, talking to your friends about it, in the end, people are just going to want to play the game when they're able to play the game. And when they're able to play the game is 3 days early to everybody else if they're not buying that expensive edition. The studios are making so much more money doing this than not doing this, and that's why they keep doing it. They're not seeing any detriment on their end from doing it, even though it doesn't benefit the consumer in really any way whatsoever. And for the people that this does benefit, the people that are playing this a couple days early, it's then a detriment to everybody else that might not have the money to spend on the better edition. So, just a quick rant. That's kind of all I really wanted to talk about. I would love to hear your guys' opinions, though. I know a lot of people really don't care about this. I've seen a lot of people be more excited about having an early access release than not having an early access release, because people want to play the game as early as possible, which, you know, it's understandable. So I would love to hear your guys' comments down below on why or why not you think this is ruining a big portion of gaming or the gaming atmosphere, or if you don't think it's ruining it at all and you love early access releases. So let me know what you guys think. I would love to hear down below in the comments. Make sure you subscribe if you like videos like this. Go check out my most previous video about the PlayStation 5 Pro reveal. That one was a doozy for sure. And yeah, leave a like on the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.